Hi everyone, my name is Yu Yun Yi. I will start by giving a short introduction about our topic, the respiratory system. Today our group will use this lung model to show how air travels and how the lungs works during breathing. The respiratory system is the body system responsible for breathing. Its main function is to supply body with oxygen and remove carbon dioxide, which is breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, a waste product of metabolism. The system includes the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, and the lung. When we inhale, air enters through the nose or mouth, travels down the airways and reach the alveoli in the lung, tiny air sacs where gas exchange happens. Oxygen passes into the bloodstream while carbon dioxide leaves the blood to the exhale. The respiratory system works closely with the circulatory system to deliver oxygen to all body cells and maintain proper pH balance. So we will also explain each part step by step from the nose to the alveoli. So now I will pass to Vicky. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wong Nifong. I will be explaining the upper respiratory tract, which include the nose, nasal cavity, pharynx, and larynx. First, air enters through the nose. Here, the air is warm, filtered, and moistened. The external nose also helps guide the airflow and contain receptors that allow us to smell. Inside the nasal cavity, tiny hairs and mucus help to trap the dust, dirt, and germs, helping keep the air clean before it goes deeper into the body. Next, the air moves down to the pharynx, which is a passage shared with the digestive system. The pharynx also contains tonsils, which help protect the body by providing immune defense. After that, air passes through the larynx, also known as the voice box. The larynx helps us produce sounds and it has a structure that closes when we swallow, preventing food or liquid from entering to the airway. Overall, the upper respiratory tract's main job is to clean, warm, and direct the air safely into the lungs.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Veterinary Patrick, and today I will be presenting about the trachea and the bronchial tree. So, after the air passes through the larynx, it's actually enter to the trachea, which we commonly call the windpipe. So, the trachea is a strong but flexible tube, and it's supported by C-shape, which is cartilage ring. This ring acts like a framework to keep the airway open so the air can flow smoothly into our lungs without the tube collapsing. So from the lower end of the trachea, the airway divides into two main branches, which is the right bronchus and the left bronchus. Each bronchus leads directly into its respective lung and continues carrying air deeper inside. Once inside the lung, this bronchial keep branching again and again into smaller and narrower tube. Eventually, they become very tiny passage called bronchioles because the branches spread out just like the branches of a tree, so we call the whole structure the bronchial tree. In simple terms, the trachea is the main highway for air and the bronchial tree is the network and distribute that air throughout the lungs.
Hi, my name is Gan Kai Singh and I will explain the lung and alveoli. So the lung are the main organ of the respiratory system. So they are located at the chest cavity and protected by the ribs. cage. So we have two lungs, but they are not exactly the same size. Our right lung has three lobes, so which is the superior lobes, medial lobes, and inferior lobes. However, our left lung only have two lobes, the superior and inferior lobe, because they have to leave one small space for our heart. So this small space we call cardiac notch, which is when the heart race. So inside each lung, the airway branch many times. The bronchs divide into the smaller bronchioles. So at the end of the bronchioles, we have the tiny sac we call alveoli. So each lung contain 300 to 500 million alveoli, so giving a large surface area. This large surface help the body absorb more oxygen. So the alveoli have tiny wall, and they are slotted network of the tiny blood vessel we call capillaries. So the alveoli wall and the capillary wall are so close that gas can easily pass between each them. So when we inhale the air, the alveoli is rich of oxygen. So the blood coming to the lung has a lot of carbon dioxide because it comes from the body cells. So by the diffusions, the oxygen move from the alveoli into the capillaries and enter to the blood cell, and however the carbon dioxide move from the capillary into the alveoli to be breathed out. So this process we call gas exchange, and it happens very quickly every time we breathe. So I will pass my presentation to my classmate.
Hi everyone, my name is Yong Yun. I will explain how we breathe using the lungs model. But before that, I would like to stress on the importance of diaphragm muscle. It contracts and relaxes, helping in the overall breathing system. When we inhale, the diaphragm moves downward and the chest cavity expands. This makes the air pressure inside the lung lower, so air flows in. When we exhale, the diaphragm moves up. The chest becomes smaller, pressure increases, and air flows out. Now, let's look at the model. When air flows into the nasal cavity, the balloon, which represents the lungs, will inflate. When we exhale, the balloon deflates. This shows how the diaphragm helps us breathing.
Hi everyone, I am Jordan. Today I will explain how our breathing is controlled. Breathing is an automatic process controlled mainly by the brainstem, especially two key areas, which is medulla oblongata and the palms. The medulla contains the respiratory center, which sends signal to our breathing muscles. It constantly monitors the level of carbon dioxide in our blood. When carbon dioxide rises, for example, during exercise, the medulla increases our breathing rate to remove excess carbon dioxide and take in more oxygen. In addition, chemoreceptor is located in the brain major blood vessel. It helps fine-tune this process. They detect change not only in carbon dioxide but also in oxygen level and blood pH. If oxygen drops or the blood becomes too acidic, this receptor alert the brainstem to adjust breathing accordingly. This keeps our internal environment stable. Now, I will pass to my colleague Annette to explain the lung disease.
On the common lung diseases. Lung diseases are conditions that affect the lung and respiratory system. They can impact breathing, oxygen exchange, and overall health. Most common lung diseases are: number 1, asthma, where airways become inflamed and narrow, causing wheezing, coughing, and shortness of breath. Number 2, lung tissue diseases, pneumonia, infections causing inflammations and fluid-filled air sacs. Number 3, lung circulation disease, pulmonary hypertension, where high blood pressure in the lung artery. Number 4, lung cancer, referring to uncontrolled growth of abnormal cell in the lung. And number 5, other infection diseases are tuberculosis or TB, influenza, and COVID-19.
Now let me summarize the full breathing process step by step. First, when the air enters through the cavity nasal, where it is filtered and warmed, and then travel down the trachea or windpipe toward the lung. Inside the lung, the air moves through branching tubes called bronchi, finally reaching tiny air scars called alveoli. This is where gas exchange happens, which is oxygen enters the blood and carbon dioxide is removed. And the diaphragm and chest muscle power is processed. When the diaphragm contracts, inhale. When it's relaxed, we exhale. And all of this seamlessly coordinated by the brain, ensuring we breathe without even thinking and keeping us alive in balance. So that's all for today. Thank you for the listening. Thank you.